The vehicle you see right behind me is the brand new second generation of the Kia Niro. It's been totally redesigned for the 2023 model, and this one in particular happens to be one of them. And the cool thing about the Niro, it comes available in both a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, and you could go full electric with the EV model, and that's the one we have here. In the past few days, that car behind me has been my daily driver, and here's the things that I discovered in terms of cool features, driving, handling, and uniqueness that this vehicle has to offer if you're looking for a practical daily driver. So first thing first, this thing has some interesting, unique design elements. Definitely separating it from the previous generation. But like the previous EV version, the charge port is still located in the center, which is a pro and a con. Con being is, if you live in a winter environment, find yourself in muddy situations. I know cars in Colorado, usually the front end is filled with like mud and snow, so you may have to clean that up. But if you open it up, here it is. It is DC fast charging, which has a max peak around 84 kilowatts. Now Kia does advertise it should take about 40 something minutes to get the vehicle from 10 to 80% if you're DC fast charging. However, this was my time charging with Electrify America, so it's hit or miss. This is the worst that I've experienced. And this does support the Kia reverse charge, which means with the appropriate adapter, which Kia did provide for us, was this adapter allows us to actually use this as a household outlet so you can basically power a campground. But other unique aspect of things that this vehicle has, I really do like the headlights personally. It gives me like a Tron vibe, almost like a motherboard circuit board. That's what it looks like to me. I'm just a tech head, but that is pretty cool. This vent back here actually is functional for aerodynamics because if you look closely, it does follow through the side panel. So it does indeed help in aerodynamics. And I don't know about you, but it definitely reminds me of an Audi R8, like the very first generations. It's not a bad look. Now the remote to this key fob does feature the summon capability, which if you lock the car, not only does it look like a bomb switch, which is kind of neat, but you have the common buttons right over here. But these buttons are your summon buttons, technically. So if you long press while the vehicle is locked, wait for the headlights to chirp. As soon as it blinks twice, long press the forward or back button to move the vehicle forward or back. You gotta get close to the vehicle, but you could actually allow the vehicle to move forward. This is perfect during like tight situations when vehicles park super close to both your driver and passenger side. So you could easily move the car forward without having to dent the vehicle in the back. You just have to be within like a certain distance for summon mode to work. And of course, it will utilize its parking sensors and stuff. And once you let go of the remote, it immediately slams on the brakes. And that leads me to the next unique thing about this vehicle is its taillights. I like them. It feels like there needs to be taillights right here, but I don't know. I kind of like this like no taillight look. And of course, your turn markers are actually located on the bumper. Now the vehicle has other unique things, like it does have a smart app that you could connect your vehicle to. Since I'm not the owner, this is a press vehicle, I don't have access to that. But you do have all the cool smart car features. So let's go ahead and talk about numbers. The EV version starts at $39,000 and has a very advanced driver assist system, something you expect to find on a car that's close to 6 figures. It's more powerful than the base EV6, as it does have a 201 horsepower engine with 188 pound-feet of torque. It's capable of DC fast charge, as it could take 84 kilowatts max peak with a CCS, and it has a battery capacity of 64 kilowatts. Unfortunately, since this vehicle was manufactured and built in South Korea, it does not qualify for the state's tax incentives, unfortunately. But even though this is a more affordable version of the EV6, it actually does have a faster 0-60, as this does have a 0-60 time of 6.5, a little bit quicker than the EV6 base model. Just front-wheel drive is standard on all Kia Niros. There's no all-wheel drive option. Now getting in the car, it does have smart door handles, which is nice. You can unlock or lock the vehicle from the door handle itself. The interior is extremely futuristic and it reminds me a lot like the EV6, so I'm going to go ahead and show you why. So hopping inside, I have a lot of headspace right here. And we do have a sunroof. So we do have that option. This is why I say it reminds me of the EV6. It has this system right here where you could only control one thing at once in terms of climate and the stereo system. Because here's your AC control. If you tap right here, this will take you to your radio controls. And you do have your shortcuts right here for defrost or auto climate, of course. But this acts as your volume rocker, your on and off for your radio. And then when you tap your AC, now it's your temperature level dial. It's chilly, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in 780. And then if you long press on an icon, if it's like the EV6, it'll beep, and that'll be your preference to always be on by default whenever you start up the vehicle. That's kind of a hidden trick I discovered about these Kia vehicles, was that interesting AC and stereo unit control. And the seats are very similar to the EV6 too, especially from the back side. They're not terrible looking or anything like that. They're super comfortable, and they are indeed ventilated and heated. But the interior is really stylish, nice premium material, heated steering wheel, and you have your seats and heated steering wheel control right here, as well as your auto hold. It is a digital shift knob, and your power button is located right here. It does have wireless charging capability, as well as wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. Unique ambient lighting right here, which can be changed in the settings, but you can also tap on the menu, the mode button right here, and it will change to the appropriate mode that you select. And by default, you have the choice between normal, sport, and eco. And if you long press, you'll actually toggle snow mode. So even for a front-wheel drive vehicle, it does have snow mode. And I really do like this instrument cluster design that they have going for, because since this is an EV vehicle, we don't have our RPM gauge, but they actually cleverly engineered it. So you still technically have a little dial right here, which doesn't feel weird or odd. I actually really do like this. It shows me how much power I'm putting in, as well as how much I'm regenerating back whenever I'm using braking for regen. But here's your battery overall percentage. And of course, you have the capability to move between the other infotainment screens that you have available. Now, this vehicle does have a heads-up display, which is extremely useful, especially when setting navigation. It does display everything right here, as well as if there's a vehicle in your blind spot, which does display blind spot monitoring on your heads-up display, as well as your mirrors. And the cool thing I like about this car as well is whenever you toggle like your wipers for rain, it'll actually show you what you're toggling right here, instead of having to look at down here. Same applies for your lights controls are also shown right here. And then of course the other columns where you find your auto high beams and such. And then both the driver and passenger seat are both automatic, as each side has their own control. And the rearview mirror right here, this is where you'll find your home link capability to link to your garage. Emergency dials, lights, which are touch sensitive, or you can manually press to turn them all on. Disabled, they all go on when the door is open right here. Yeah, pretty loaded for people that care, like myself. You do have a full mirror right here, but it does have a little holder right here for business cards and such. The light illuminators right here. Oh, and if you close it, it'll automatically turn it off. Now, in terms of unique features, this is Kia's infotainment system, very similar to like what the EV6 has. I really do like it because it actually has some nifty tools. Like the EV mode will actually show you how much range you have with the AC on or off. So if you need to squeeze that extra range, if I turn everything off, I do have 80 miles capability. And right now the vehicle's at 37%, which will give you a general idea how efficient it is for daily driving. And then you also have quiet mode, which was this mode enabled. Only the front speakers will be enabled, so your rear passengers will be able to sleep fine. And then you just disable this. It's much quicker than having to go into your audio EQ settings to disable the rear speakers. And then in e-vehicle settings right here, you have the capability to edit your heads-up display. And if you wish to have your phone to be as the dedicated key for this car so you don't have to carry the key fob, you can always set that up as well. And if you go to cluster and go to illumination, you can actually set a blue light filter too if you like. You can schedule it as well, or leave it on automatic whenever sunrise or sunset sets. Now, some Kia models do have a built-in dash cam. I'm not sure if this is because it's only a UK thing, but here in the States we don't have it. But if your vehicle is equipped with one, if you actually open up the glove box, which is a normal size glove box, but mine's a blank. But right here was supposed to be a USB port, so you can actually add storage to your dash cam, because the external cameras that this vehicle has, some Kia Niro models do have a dash cam capability, which we're able to find right here, but this one doesn't have that equipped. So maybe in the near future, next year model might have it, who knows. But if yours has it, there's a USB port right there for you. Now this vehicle does have wireless charging capability, and will actually give you feedback on the LED light right here if your device is charging right or not. So if we actually like take our phone out, it's going to go blank. And if we place it back in and wait for a couple of seconds, it'll show us the feedback right there if it's charging or not. Of course, you have USB-C, USB-A, and a 12-volt outlet right here. And the cup holders are extremely interesting, because if you don't need the cup holders, you could just open them up like so and give yourself more space right here. But if you're using cup holder, you just push here, and bam, now you have like a slot for your bottles and such. In addition to that, you do have additional storage right here above this armrest. Now let's go ahead and go into the back seats. The back seats are pretty cool due to the fact that it's fairly roomy back here, minus the leg room space. But for average size adults, there's plenty of space right here. I'm about 5'8", so I'm able to fit back here just nice. And you do have USB-C ports right here on the side. You have vents, which is nice. And you have additional storage right here behind the seats. And these do have heated seats back here, which is right above the window switch. So you can actually toggle that right here. So yes, it is slightly smaller than the EV6, but you do have the important things you expect to have, like armrests with cup holders. And of course, you can fold all the seats down for additional cargo. But aside from that, it's pretty much standard back here. It also got your light switches here. But since we're in the discussion of cargo space, let's go back there and see how it's like. So here's the back cargo space. And if you fold down the seats, that's basically how you do. I have a backpack there, that's why it's not fully flush, or else it would have been sitting the same height as that one. But this is the back seat. You do have hooks right here for your groceries, as well as additional hooks right here to if you need to strap something down. You have hidden cubbies right here, or side cubbies I should say. And right about here gives you access to your taillights if you have to replace them or remove them. And same applies for the opposite side. And if you need additional cargo, you do have the access to this hidden compartment, which does give you access to not just your subwoofer right there, but also your inflation kit. And if you like to give yourself more room, you can remove the sides right here for your cubbies. But that's basically the back cover, how it looks like. You have a handle or the button to press to automatically lower it. And you can auto adjust the height as well if you need to. It does have a rear wiper, which is quite handy. And you do have a roof rail that you can actually attach stuff to later on if you like. But now, let's go ahead and go on a drive and talk about how it handles. Oh, and you do have 2 memory seats for the driver. So, daily driving the Niro EV. Well, it's actually really interesting. Even though this is an EV vehicle, this is actually one of the most easiest EV vehicles to get used to. Yes, it took me a while to get used to the regen, but what I like about this vehicle is that the pedals that you see on the steering wheel are plus and minus, but they're not there for gears. They're actually there so you can actually adjust the braking, regen, aggressiveness. So if you like to decrease it, you have full freedom to decrease it or take it off completely or increase it at max. I personally prefer having it at max due to the fact that I could increase the range as much as possible. Well, maximize my range under a single charge, because this gives me charge back to the battery. Now, the extreme driver assist that it has is actually brilliant. Now, I've tried Tesla Autopilot. My vehicle has that. I tried Chevy and their Super Cruise, and Ford was their Blue Cruise. It's kind of similar how they almost rhyme. But what Kia has going for is actually extremely advanced. It's super confident. And I like the fact that the heads-up display will actually show me what the car sees. So I know that the vehicle that's in front, the car is picking it up. So I don't have to be prepared to take the hands on the wheel. But you do have to have your hands on the wheel once in a while. So it will beep you once in a while if you have your hands fully off the wheel. But to the most part, it's super reliable and nice. And it works on all roads. Well, so long as it's clear, of course, and there's no bad weather. But overall, this being a very small crossover / hatchback, it's super easy to drive around the cities, crowded environment, easy to maneuver, and handles really well due to the fact that it's well balanced since the battery is in the bottom portion of the vehicle. So it has a good center of gravity, so you could easily make some confident turns if you need to. But aside from that, it drives like how it looks. It's not bad. I have no complaints or anything like that. And that is basically the experience of how it's like driving the Kia Niro. It's good looking in my opinion. It's loaded with a bunch of safety features. It has like the capability to also like alert you if you're stopped behind a red light and traffic is moving in front of you. It'll actually buzz you in the screen. And in addition to that, you also get some premium pedals, by the way. But under the hood, you do have a small storage container right here. If we actually put stuff like first aid kits, flashlights, or even to-go snack bags. I mean, if you don't want to stink up your cabinet, you can always put stuff here. It's not big, it's not massive like Teslas and other vehicles with frunks, but it does have the additional option, which is quite nice because they could have easily just covered this up and made it into just an engine cover for the EV motor, but it's honestly not a bad car overall. Aside from that, there you guys have it. Hopefully you guys got some good information out of the video. If you'd like to watch more, maybe check out another EV vehicle like the EV6. I've actually reviewed that car right over there where I cover its amazing hidden features, and also some of those features I also shared with that car as well. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.